Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Expat Hoops. I'm Andy Haverman, your host. Today, we welcome Remy Abell, who's had quite the college career stateside before heading overseas. He started at Indiana, spent 2 years there, had to sit out a year to transfer. Those rules feel like so long ago now, but then he spent the last 2 seasons at Xavier. Welcome to the pod, Remy.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me, man.
Sure. So, you've had quite the career, like I said off the top. 4 countries, like you said, off the camera, eight years, but 4 countries. So that's actually kind of an interesting aspect that we'll get into a little bit later on in the pod. But uh, another thing that's interesting about you is we like to talk to people about when they were coming out of college, looking to go pro, and how that actually looked for them. And as we talked a little bit off the pod, and that we're going to put as an expat extra, your NFL flirtation, we'll call it. You also had to deal with basically, all right, you made the decision, I'm going to go professional, but you still had some NFL flirtation. What did that look like for you when you're coming out of college and you're like, I think I want to play professional basketball, and that might be the most, let's say, likely, but also you're still exploring the NFL option as well?
Yeah. Like I said, the NFL option was definitely good for me. Like I said, I played football all the way up to high school. And like I said, my mom, she's heavy with education and just wanted me to kind of focus on one sport and focus on school. So I chose basketball. And I love basketball and I love football. So, after that, then, I just stuck with basketball. But, having the opportunity to play NFL, which I didn't know that would come up, it really, brought a lot of excitement for me, a lot of joy because I love the game of football. I'm watching it all the time, and I feel like to this day, if I would have just said like I don't want to play basketball, I want to stick with football, I could be in the NFL for sure. Like I have no doubt in my mind, with my athleticism, my speed, being able to catch the football. So coming out of college, obviously I was thinking like, I want to play professional basketball, whether that be try the NBA or in Europe. But the NFL thing came up and it kind of slowed things down for me professionally with basketball because I was like, I really want to try this. I really want to go for this. And, if it works out, it does. If it doesn't, then okay. But at least I want to say like I tried this. So, like I said, I had a good friend that got me to work out. And yeah, like I said, I was training for about 2 or 3 weeks. And just really the biggest thing was training for the 40 time because it's different when it comes to football. You need a great start. And I only had like 2 weeks of training. So the 2 weeks of training and end up going for the workout. And the workout went good. Like I said, in the 40, I ran like a low 4.4, which is fast, but it's not like 4.2 fast. It's like it's fast, but it's not fast. But and like I said, I had passes, didn't drop a pass, running routes and different things like that. But yeah, it was a good experience. And after they told me that, they basically, wanted to go another way. Because like I said, I didn't feel like that they wanted to groom me, like develop me into a receiver. They wanted somebody that was already coming out of college and they already basically is there. They just need to adjust to the pro game. I haven't been playing football for years, so it would have been like a whole 360 trying to change my body and do different things like that to get ready for like actually professional football. So it was good, and I did that workout. It was good, but after they told me that they didn't want me, then I just have my full focus on playing professional basketball, and whether that be like NBA going overseas.
And so, what was that like in terms of, you came out of college, you had the NFL flirtation, and what was it like, getting an agent, getting involved with? I mean, you eventually wound up signing with the Helsinki Seagulls in Finland for your
Yeah.
first year. But how would you say like the NFL flirtation either helped you, hurt you, or basically if it had no impact whatsoever?
Yeah, I'll probably say it definitely helped me. It definitely helped me. Just like putting more buzz on my name. Like it's intriguing. Like this guy, he's good at basketball, but he made a jump to try to play football. So like he has something there. Like I said, athletically. Yeah, that's So like it's always intriguing when a guy can play two sports. And at that moment, I'm trying to balance of going to football going from basketball right to football, and then just going from football right to basketball. So the transition was like, it was quick, it was rapid fire. But yeah, I just, when I got out of college, ran down a couple agents. I had a few agents hit me up, and I ended up signing with one. And then, I told them that I wanted to, try to play in NBA, but if not, then go overseas. And that football thing ended up coming up, and I went for that. And then I told him, if I didn't make that, then I want to work on getting, overseas. And he did a great job of getting me overseas. I got my first job with the Seagulls in Helsinki, which is a beautiful country, by the way. It's cold, but it is a beautiful country. It's a good league, respectable league. Got a lot of talent out there. And that was a good club, very professional organization. But yeah, and the team, actually the team, the coach and the owner, they actually called me, and I had a meeting with them, like over the phone, like FaceTime meeting with them, and they had brung up that I played in the NFL, that I like tried out for the NFL. It was like, man, that's incredible, that's wonderful. So like you said, it definitely helped me in a way. I feel like that made it more intriguing for them to be like, okay, we want to sign you. It just helped out, like, maybe put a little boost on, like, my image, my profile, my name. But it was good though. Like I said, I ended up playing for them, and I feel like that my first year, I was just coming in, just trying to, do the right things. Like I feel like I said, like character is the biggest thing. Like nobody, I don't care how good you are, nobody wants you. No team is gonna want you if you got bad character, if you're not a great guy, if you're not somebody you want in the locker room. So I feel like with me playing, playing pretty good minutes, a decent minutes my rookie year, and then showing that I can play, and then just being a good character person, that was the reason why they wanted me back for the second year. They knew. I feel like they had seen. I had some games where I scored 20, scored 25. I had some games where I scored, 5 points, 10 points. But I feel like the main thing is like, okay, this dude's a winner. He want to win, and he's a good guy in the locker room. So I feel like, honestly, me being a good person and me being a winner has took me has took me farther than me just being a good basketball player.
Thanks to SeatGeek for sponsoring Expat Hoops. We recently became a brand ambassador for them. SeatGeek is a ticket app that takes the confusion out of buying tickets. They offer a 0 to 10 score on each ticket to know if you're getting a good or a bad deal. Green means good, red means bad. You get the idea. It's a really easy way to get tickets to events. Plus, our viewers get $20 off their first ticket purchase with the Expat Hoops code. Click the link in the description to download the app. Remember the code Expat Hoops, EXPATHOOPS, all one word, to save yourself $20 off your first ticket purchase with SeatGeek. When you went to be a professional, obviously that's a life change, but was this the first time you also went overseas as well?
No, we had took when I was in what was it? When I was in college, at Xavier, we had took an overseas trip to Brazil. So I had been overseas, but I think that was my only time. That was like my first time that I had went overseas was then. When we had took a summer trip to Brazil to play a couple games out there. That was my only time I've been overseas. Other than that, I had never been overseas. So it was definitely like a new experience, different experience.
And so within those first 2 years in Finland, I obviously know Finland's, one of the Scandinavian countries that's really developed and everything, but obviously between whether you're talking about the US, the Brazilian trip, or, Finland, there are some differences. What were there some things like so that you had to get used to off the court while you were there your first 2 years in Helsinki?
Off the court, just being alone. I feel like that's the biggest thing. Obviously, when you wake up, I didn't have like a wife or no kids, so it's not like I woke up to like a family. It's not like I can wake up and can call my mom and dad and be like, yo, can y'all come over? Or, like my bro, my sisters and things like that. Or, my family. Like, it's basically just being on your own. Like I feel like when you overseas, it teaches you a lot about yourself. You have to learn how to adapt with being on your own, and you have to figure out things that make you happy, that keep you like engaged, because it can get lonely over here. It can get boring with you being on your own, and you thousands of miles away from your family. So I feel like me being overseas definitely then taught me a lot about myself and made me open my eyes to new things and doing this, doing that, and just keeping myself engaged. I feel like that's really like the biggest thing off the court. Just being on your own, having to do everything on your own, and having to, having to interact with a whole new culture and what they do in their country.
Well, seizing on that, basically the idea that you're alone, I think that actually kind of goes well into where we're going next. So in 2018, 2019, you go to Hungary for the first time. It's a country that you've been in now. I think this is the fourth season that you've actually played there. Not continuous, but I think it's really interesting. We were talking off the pod that you actually had an opportunity to go to second division in Hungary. Basically, they wanted to be on the way up, and spoiler alert, they did the next season as a result of basically your efforts.
Mhm.
But you were the only import on that club. Second division, they wanted to make the push to get up for promotion. Take us through what that experience was like, specifically in that 2018, 2019 season.
Yeah, that was a good experience. Like I said, it was some pressure for sure because obviously the imports is the difference makers. You have some good locals that's in that country, but the imports is the difference makers. No matter what they doing, scoring, rebounding, whatever they do on the court, but they're the difference makers. That's why the team pays them to come over here. So it was definitely some pressure. Me being the only import and knowing that I had to make a big impact offensively and defensively. So my first couple games, I actually didn't play good at all, and I think at that point they might have been thinking about maybe like cutting me or letting me go. I wasn't for sure, but I ended up picking it up throughout the season and having a good season and playing really well. You know, so it was just one of them things where like I got comfortable and me being in that situation like that, I was playing 35 minutes a game and I was able to basically showcase what I could do offensively and defensively, and it gave me even more confidence. Because like I said, I knew I could, if I wanted to, I could score 25, 30 points. Um, but it was more of a thing that I'm like, this team's trying to move up. So, I'm trying to help this team win. So, it was just one of them things where I was just trying to help the team win and like obviously a team player. But if I needed to score, then I would do that. But if I had a game where I had 2 points and we won, I was perfectly fine because, like I said, like in professional sports, winning carries everything. So it was a good experience. Like I said, I was able to play good. I played good throughout the season. We ended up moving up to the first league, and it was a really good experience, and that just gave me confidence for my next years in professional, just to keep playing at that level.
So not only on the court there, so you spent the next two seasons after that initial one season down in the second division, like you said, you were promoted. You spent the next 2 years with the OS Lions. What were things like off the court for you there? Especially given the fact that you've now moved up. You've established yourself in a league, or well, actually, I mean, established yourself in a country. Now it's a new league, tier one for new opportunity. But you're already kind of comfortable with the area that you've been living in for the past year, and you're going to live there the next 2 years. So you spent 3 years there in total at that
Mm-hmm.
particular moment in time. What was that like off the court for you?
It was good. I mean, it was like basically like I know everything. I'm comfortable. Everybody knows me. I know them. Um, I was just yeah. I was just comfortable. Like I was just living. Like basically I was living there with like no pressure because everybody they already knew me. I'd helped them win a championship. I feel like if you go like obviously every year that somebody plays, they want to, prove themselves. Like I'm good, to try to maybe help for the next season or something. And everybody wants to have a good season, no matter what sport you're playing. But I feel like at that point in time, I had proved myself. So we had won a championship and went to first league. Everybody already knew what I could do, so it wasn't as much pressure on me compared to like somebody that was coming there as my teammate as they like first year as they first year and having to prove themselves over again because, I had been there already multiple years. So everybody knew what I could do. Then, my job was I'm just trying to help whoever's coming into that team, help them get adjusted to the team and what the organization is like and our teammates. And I'm just trying to help them become better teammates and trying to build a connection with them so we can win games. But I feel like, everybody, as far as my game, already knew that. And off the court, it was just easy. It was just, it was fun and people talking to me, want pictures and different things like that. So it was a good thing. It's always good to be wanted. So like that's always a thing. If you play for a team and they want you back again, that's a good thing. Like they like you, they want you back. That's a compliment.
So after a couple of years away, you actually come back to Hungary. So just kind of like talking broadly about Hungary, and I think you said this off the pod. You said it's a beautiful country. So like, what are some of the experiences that you've had there in terms of that? Basically, over the now 4 years that you've lived there, that you could basically say that this is one of the things that I have as a memory.
Shoot, man, that's a lot. I mean, I tried their food. They got good food, Hungarian food. They got some good food, which I'm not a big fan on trying new things, but I had to. It's like my fourth year playing here, so they got good food. Budapest is a super nice country. They just got a lot of different things to do there. They got this street there called Fashion Street. It's really good. Like it's got like a bunch of food places on there. It's got like restaurants. It's got yeah, it's got so much. It's just so much to do. Like you places you can go shop. It's just like Budapest is it's definitely like a good country and it's a lot of diverse there. It's a lot of diversity there. Different people, different cultures, just all blend into one. So I like the experience as a whole. Like, I try to go there when I can go there. So like I said, I like Hungary. Me playing, this is my 8th year, and me playing 4 years in Hungary. Like I said, if I play more seasons after this, I don't have no problem with that. Because, as a league itself, it's respectable. It's a good league. It's a lot of talent here. And like I said, as a country, Hungary is a good country. It's safe and it's like in the middle of everything. Like I'm super close to Vienna, Austria. I'm close to I think like Czech Republic. I'm close to like other like countries in like the Balkan, like Bosnia is not too far from a drive. Slovakia, I think, or
Yep.
Slovenia. So it's like kind of middle of everything. It's good.
So actually, that's another. Once again, you're getting there's some excellent transition points that you're giving me here. So you talked about Bosnia being close by. So after your first 3 years in Hungary, you do
Yeah.
go play in Bosnia. Take us through like what that experience was like. You're now moving to another league that's it's the third different league that you've been in, but take us through what that experience was like.
Yeah, that experience, it was good. It was different for sure. Balkanary is different. I played with some good teammates. All my teammates that I had was good during that year. We won some games. I think we had lost in like the playoffs. I forgot what it was. I think we lost first or maybe semifinals in the playoffs. So we had a pretty good team. We won a lot of games, and the experience was good. It was a little bit different with the culture, and just yeah, it was just more like I think with that country, it was different in a way. Like I was in the capital, but it was more like people like here. I feel like in Hungary, people look when they if they see me, they don't really stare as much. It's like we see a lot of your type or your color. But I feel like when I was in Bosnia, they haven't seen that a lot. I don't think they really seen like many black people there. So I think it was more of like a culture shock for them because I had a lot of people there that was like, staring at me, like just actually just staring at me, and I'm like, man, I'm a nice guy. Like just say hi, like you don't have to just stare at me. If you want to come say hi or something, then just you can come say that. Like I'm a good guy. I'm not gonna hurt you or anything. I think it was like that was like a that was different for sure. It was definitely different, but it was a good country though. It was a really good country. It was a lot. It was a lot to do there. They got nice malls and things to do. They got good restaurants, good places to eat at. And like I said, I played with a lot of good teammates there. Um, so it was definitely good, and it was a good experience. Definitely different. If I had to say, would I go back and play there? Probably not. Probably not.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that's got to be a weird experience to just basically being stared at. I mean, that's not the first time we've heard that on this pod, but at the same time, it's still one of those ones is like I can only imagine what that's like. Where I'm like, I'm a normal person. Like you said, I'm friendly. Can you
Yeah,
stop staring at me?
yeah. It could be, yeah. That's a little different for sure.
Yeah. So after that season, though, you wind up actually doing a split of the season where you actually go to Cyprus, and then there's going to be experience in Finland. Cyprus is actually, I believe, is the first time that you played Euro Cup. If you could kind of take us through like what that season was like, and not only in terms of that, you're taking kind of like that level up, but also what it's like splitting time between the two places.
Yeah. Cyprus was real good. That's probably as far as weather, that's the best country that I've played in. As far as weather, like they got amazing weather, nice, really nice country. Nikos, I think it was called Nicosia. I think that's the capital too. Like really nice country. It's amazing teammates. The organization was amazing. The coach was amazing. Everybody in that organization was amazing. The coaches, the players was great. They supported me, encouraged me. Like I said, playing in that we was in Champions League qualification. We played against, I think it was Benfica, which is in Portugal. They beat us, and then we went right into FIBA Euro Cup, and we actually had a decent run. The time that I was there, we won the first round, and the second round was starting around like I think I'm not for sure, but I think around like November, maybe like I don't know, October, November, December, somewhere around there. I played a couple games with them, I think, in the second round. And then after that, I had part ways with them like right before New Year's. Right before New Year's that year, I had part ways with them. And yeah, that was definitely different for me because, you see people, it's a lot of people in professional sport overseas playing basketball that have either been replaced or part ways with a team or for some reason it didn't work out. And during the season went to another team. Like it happens all the time. It happens every year. A lot of players. And I had been on teams where players that was my teammates that had left the team and went to another team during the season. So I just was thinking like, oh man, that I never felt like that was ever gonna be me. But you know, you learn so much during the season. You learn so much and you go through different experiences and you go through ups and downs and that was definitely a big experience for me because now I had to like switch my mindset and figure out what's the next move for me because I definitely wanted to finish the season somewhere. And yeah, and the funny part is I had part ways with them, but I was just coming off. We played on that Friday, that Thursday or Friday we played a game and I had like 25 points, and then that Saturday or Sunday, then that's when they told me like, you want to part ways, and that was nice about it though, like it wasn't really something that I did. It was just more like they just wanted to go a different direction, which I was like, I was hurt about it, but I was like, it's a business. That's the business side. Being in that situation, I was learning more about the business side of it. And this is what happens. It's the same thing like in NBA if you get traded. Mid-season, you get traded, you gotta go to a you get traded, you gotta go to a new team, like in the NBA. So like it happens. Like players change teams at different times and gotta like basically figure it out. And that was definitely an experience for me. Good things I had my teammates there. They were supportive and wish me the best. And I still have communication with them to this day. And my family, my friends did a great job of just being in my corner, support me. And like I said, it was definitely an experience. But it helped me as a person. It helped me grow. It helped me. You know, I'm already a humble person, but it helped me be even more humble. Helped me learn that anything could happen to anybody. Like you not untouchable. So it was a good experience for me. And like I said, I was just working out and different things like that. And I talked to my agent, and I was able to get back into Finland, which I was already familiar with, and the team that I played with, they was familiar with me. So it was already a connection there. So they knew what I could do. I knew about the organization, and which is a great organization. They did a great job of taking care of me and showing me a lot of love. And the experience there was great, and we won a lot of games. And we ended up losing in like the semifinals. So it was a good season. It was a good season to finish off in Finland, it was good for me.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. So that's the first time, you're now you're 8 seasons in, and in your seventh season is when basically there's some level of adversity in terms of basically being, cut kind of deal, or whether it's for business reasons or not. And
Yeah,
we've gone over things just now where it's just like, you establish yourself overseas, that certain clubs wanted you to get in promotion. So basically what I'm saying is you already kind of had some of the highs in the rear view of your career when you had like one of the perceived lows. So it
yeah,
probably was also sort of like one of the things that you're probably pretty confident already in what you could already do. So I think that
yeah.
that's one thing that probably helped you. So I guess essentially, what would be your message to somebody that if like earlier on in their career that they had experienced something like that where the club wanted to move on, basically kind of what's your advice for them if they were to go through a similar thing?
Yeah, my advice would be like basically like just basically just stay positive and just know that basically that you not if you go through a situation like that, that you're not the only person that ever went through it. That it's a lot of other players out there that have went through the same situation. And I feel like that some players be like ashamed like that they maybe got cut or they got released or the team wants to replace them. Like that's not nothing to be ashamed of. It's a business. Like I said, it's the same thing if an NBA player was to get traded or get released or something. It's a business. Like it's a part of the game. And the best thing for, if you ever get in that situation, I say the best thing to do is just stay positive and just keep working and know that everything happens for a reason. You not there and you're not there for a reason, but there's something better along the way. And you just got to keep that tunnel vision. You got to keep that tunnel vision like right now I'm at a low point, but I can I can get back to that high point. But you just gotta stay positive and can't let it affect you where you telling yourself like, oh man, like they let me go, so like maybe I'm not good enough, or start to doubt yourself because that's not the reason. Like if you're a good player, you still gotta keep that confidence.
We have merch. Head over to the Expat Hoop store where you'll find t-shirts, hoodies, masks, coffee mugs, pint glasses, and more.
It's one of many ways you can show support for the podcast, so head over there and pick up some merch. That link below is in the video description, or you can head over to our website, expathoops.com, and click merch. We offer a couple of different Expat Hoops logos, and we have men's, women's, and kids sizes, so you can get something for everyone.
So it led you to this season where you, like, as we talked about a couple times before, that you're back in Hungary, this time with a different club. Especially kind of given the fact that like you have such a meaningful connection with Os. Is it a little bit weird kind of coming back and now being an opponent of theirs and like kind of seeing some of the familiar faces?
Yeah, it definitely was this year when we played them. When we played them at OSC, we played them at OSC. It was definitely weird because it was like, man, I played here 3 years. I spent so much time in this gym. I won a lot of games in this gym. I played with a lot of great teammates. The fans at OSC is amazing. Some of the best fans in Hungary, literally. They some of the best fans in Hungary. And when I went there, they showed me a lot of love. They gave me like a goodie bag with like a bunch of, treats in it and things like that. Things that I like, candy, candles, and different things like that. They just showed me so much love. They showed me so much love when I played there. And like I said, it's always good to go back there because when you play there and you show them and you play your heart out every game and give them great effort, then they're gonna give you effort back. Whether you leave and come back, they're gonna still show you love because they remember the times when you gave great effort for them to help that organization win games. So it was definitely weird. It was definitely like a not weird in a bad way, but just like dang, like I played here 3 years. I know everything about this club, and now I'm playing against them. But yeah, I mean the club that I'm on now is a good club. Like I got amazing teammates, and the organization's amazing, and they're very professional, and I'm blessed to be with this team. And yeah, like I said, I love the organization that I'm with, and like I said, Hungary. Like I love being in Hungary.
And so with this season, currently you're injured, as we talked a little bit off the pod, and hopefully coming back somewhat soon. But you're an important part of the season. How's this season going for you? And take us a little bit more kind of like beyond the standings.
Yeah, so right now, we lost our last game, but we still in good position to finish the season strong. We going into basically what you consider the playoffs, play in type of deal, play out type of deal. I don't know what it's like different parts of the season that they call it, but we in good position to finish the season, and we've been on a little slump lately, but I think I feel like we gonna figure it out and get it together because we got a lot of good players. We got a good team, a lot of good players. We got a good coach. The organization is good, and like I said, hopefully my plan is I'm just trying to, heal as fast as possible, recover, so I can get back on the court to help my team.
Remy Abell, thanks so much for sitting down with us here at Expat Hoops. It was a pleasure talking to you. We have a few Expat extras that we're about to get in with you in just a moment. Care to stick around?
Yeah, of course.
Hello, and thanks for watching. Be sure to give the video a like, and you can watch more videos over here. You can also click subscribe over here so you're notified when we have new content here on Expat Hoops.